Hello again, Michael Freeberg here from beautiful North Carolina with another shaving soap review. Today's soap is going to be from Wholly Kaw. It is the Lav Sublime Concerto, which is a spring 2016 release. This is the tallow-based version of the soap, and I'll talk about the ingredients in just a moment. Today's brush will be the Big Shave 2014 limited edition Badger. I have that sample pressed into the Captain's Choice lather bowl. I have really been going easy on this, in part because I had to try to make that sample last 14 days. I've been a pretty chinsy in some ways, and you know what? I have quite a bit left over, so today I am going to load pretty heavy because it's the end of the 2-week cycle. I'll be moving on to the next soap right after that. So let me get my face wet, start lathering up, and start talking about the soap. Now, I would normally say something like, well, I'm just out of the shower, but I've just been in hair and makeup for about 30 minutes, so that's not exactly accurate, but it's close enough. All right, I'm gonna start lathering up this sample. This is a tallow-based soap with no coconut oil. It does have cocoa butter and castor oil and cocoa butter, I believe, glycerin, maybe one other that I'm forgetting in there, but no coconut oil in the soap. And it lathers quickly. It always looks a little bit frothy at first. I underloaded a couple times. I was just trying to make the sample last for a little bit. Today I'm just going to really load it up. Now, as for the scent, when I first smelled the sample, closed my eyes and had a big smile on my face because it smells quite a lot. At least to me, it reminds me immediately of Près de Provence. It has a very similar strong lavender scent, but it is missing that kind of high and overly sweet sort of perfumey scent. I like Près de Provence quite a bit, but the scent is a little bit perfumey for me. This does not have that same reaction for me at all. This also includes lime, some cedar, some musk, and I believe vetiver as well. Now, those scents, those are definitely in the background for me. The lavender and the cedar are the predominant notes for me, but it is a very nice, more complex scent. And if you like Près de Provence, this would absolutely be a soap to try. Now, this is the tallow-based version. And one of the things I've noticed with this soap is that for a tallow-based soap, it's very light. It doesn't have that kind of heavy, fatty feel that a lot of tallow-based soaps do. And I first actually had to double check that this was in fact the tallow-based version, because there's also a vegan version. All right, let me go ahead and get lathered up. As you can see, it's already built up just from loading the brush. A very nice, creamy lather. You do not need a lot of the soap, by the way. I've overloaded on purpose just because it's the end of this 2-week round and I want to make sure that I really get as much enjoyment out of this last shave as I can. As you can see, a very nice, rich, creamy lather, easy to build, no effort. I'm going to add a little bit of water to that. Yeah, a little bit dry. Pull some of the soap off the bottom here. Yeah, very nice, great face feel. And once you begin to lather it, at least for the sample, the scent really starts to come out again. Obviously, when you have that little soap left for the sample, the scent is obviously, reduced over the original when you first open it. And obviously with the full-size container, you're not going to have that problem at all. Until you get down to the very bottom. I mean, let's face it, how many of you are actually getting down to the very bottom of that soap? For the two of you that are doing that, hey! Today's razor is the first safety razor that I purchased. It is the Merkur 23C 3-piece closed comb razor. Long, thin handle with a slight degree of knurling. Not actually that comfortable for me in the end. In fact, I've been surprised at sort of the weird mix here because I've been getting some pretty good shaves out of this, but they've not been very comfortable shaves. So it's been very close in parts, but it has not been very comfortable. And I know this head is very similar to the Edwin Jagger head. I think that's still clearly more comfortable than this one. I don't know exactly what the differences are. I mean, it looks very similar. this is just not as good a razor for me. This is the 5th use of a Rapira Platinum Lux, and probably going to be the last. Yeah, I really quite enjoyed using this soap, and I want to say thank you again to Wholly Kaw for providing the sample. Soap maker was the same person who provided the sample of the Layness, the donkey milks based soap. Yeah, soap has got just very nice light face feel, not kind of a heavy or overly creamy feel to it. I mean, some of the tallow-based soaps, they're just so rich and creamy, which is, of course, itself also not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But this just feels nice and light on the face. Yeah, I don't know, something about this particular head shape. I mean, it's going. I do not like the handle. The handle is too thin. The texture really is kind of fake in some ways. It's hollow. It's kind of light. The razor feels a bit head heavy. I know it's a starter razor for many of you, the 23C, or also sold as the 180. But I think, frankly, there are any number of much better options out there, and in many cases, even for less money. This is 2.5 days worth of growth. Yeah, for the 5th shave on this blade, pretty good. I've also been corresponding with the person on Reddit who has turned me on to, I think, what's known as the Centennial Club. I know there's people out there that tend to shave past that initial rough patch on the blade and then keep going, so the blade is sharp, has a bit of a rough dip, and then after that apparently evens out for a second, much longer period of smoothness. I've never really tried to get into that second one, but you know, I'm willing to try anything and give it a whirl. I've also just received a number of blade sampler that I put together from Tri-Blade with some blades that I've tried quite some time ago that I want to try again. And then I'm really looking forward to both the Persona Med Prep and the Persona Lab. Okay, pass number 1 done. Yeah, that razor, is so meh. I know, damning with faint praise, as they say. There's nothing really wrong with it, but there's nothing really to recommend it. By the way, you can see I'm just pulling off all this lather off the bottom of the brush. Pass number 2. So good. Like a lot of soaps. Lather's really settled down for that second pass. Fantastic, creamy, soft face feel. You can feel in the second pass a bit more sort of the natural creaminess of the tallow. Yeah, beautiful. Very, very nice. Yeah, if you're looking for a good lavender scent and a tallow-based soap, I would say absolutely give this a try. If you don't want to get the tallow version, try the vegan. But this tallow version has been really very, very good. All right, second pass. Now, the other thing I want to mention, by the way, and I have to say, Shavonia, I'm a little disappointed in you. I just finished up that series on milk-based soaps, and I said, I think there's at least 1 or 2 more out there, and I just could not recall what they were. I'm sure there was 1 or 2 of you out there screaming, yelling at the top of your lungs, "Friedberg, you idiot! There's the drunken goat from Mickey Lee Soapworks." And yet no one mentioned it. For shame. So have to at some point go and get that. And I know there's at least 1 more French one. And I believe somebody also messaged me on Facebook to let me know that there's a person at the Greensboro Farmers Market in North Carolina. There's a lot of goat farming around here who sells a goat's milk based shaving soap as well. Might be just a farmers market option, but may not be any good, but you never know. An undiscovered gem in the wild. Yeah, soap is really offering a lot of glide, a lot of protection, good slickness. Yeah, like I said, it's not a bad razor. It's just not a great razor. Good first choice, I guess, given that, when I bought it at the time, there were certainly not the same options, or at least it wasn't obvious how many options there were. Okay, here we go. And for the person who commented, Mike, is that drip still bothering you? Yes, that drip on my arm is still really unbelievably annoying. There are times that I can just shut it out, but other times, like there, you hold up the brush and just this I don't know. And for those of you worried about my fraternal relationships, not to worry. My brother and I are still 100% on speaking terms, despite this psychological blow he's dealt me. Yeah, look at that. That lather really held together very well. I'm just sort of pulling it up out of the brush. Like a lot of these sort of larger badger knots, they're kind of lather hogs. I'm going to hold on to it. Alright, man, that just feels good going on. And just another reminder to the new wet shavers out there, for that second and third pass, when you're lathering on your face, be gentle. Don't be anywhere near as vigorous as you have been in that first pass, because you've already made a pass or two over your skin. Your skin is going to be more sensitive. Take it a bit easy, painting motions rather than vigorous lathering again. Okay, against the grain. Very light, no pressure. Sometimes this part of the pass, irritation free and easy. Other days, it just does not feel right and I just don't do it. I think I said this in a previous video, just general advice. Don't push it. If it's uncomfortable, take a different approach to the angle of the hair. I also, by the way, did actually cut myself with this razor, but it was completely user error. Just a completely stupid accident. Felt a sneeze coming on and made kind of a weird motion with my face and my hand, and instead of pulling it away, it was closer than I thought, and it just made a tiny, tiny sideways motion, and I knew instantly, yep, cut. Wasn't deep, didn't feel it. Yeah, see a little nip right there. Yeah, and in the 2 weeks I've been shaving with this, I've had a minor weeper or a little touch more often than I would like. Yeah, just trying to make a pass through some more of the razors in the rotation. It just, there's some languishing on the bottom of my Borderlands loot crate. So I thought I'd pull this back out again, to contrast against the X3. Brand new slant, great handle. Big contrast to this razor, gotta say. Now, I know, maybe been slightly spoiled by, sort of the razors that I've purchased over the last couple of years, and that's certainly true. But I will also say on the flip side, There is absolutely nothing wrong with that shave. And if that was the only razor that I had, and I found a blade that worked and a soap that worked, no issues. It's just that when you know there are better alternatives, no, you tend to reach for those. All right, rinsing it off, very good slickness. Here's where you can get a feel, by the way, for a bit of the underlying fattiness of the tallow-based soap. Yep, easy, comfortable shave. That soap was really quite good. And for the days when I underloaded, because I was trying to make that sample last, yeah, you don't need much, but there was 2 or 3 times there where it definitely did not use enough soap, and yeah, just have to load a little extra. All right. Now, I will say there's another weird thing about this, about the Merkur. I've had a couple days where I've had a very close shave, really smooth, but then some spots where even though it feels smooth, there's still a bit of hair left. Okay, well, I'm gonna end that shave with another new product. Today it's going to be the Myrsol. This is the Formula C. I know the naming convention is a little bit mysterious and very kind of hard to remember which one is which. This is the lightly minty, but this, to me, the dominant scent of this is and this is going to sound like an odd combination, but bear with me. It's a grassy lettuce and cucumber scent, and it's lightly cooling. It does contain menthol, but it's not heavily mentholated. It has an interesting, like I said, kind of a light, grassy, cucumber, lettuce scent. If you've had Hendrick's gin, for example, very similar scent to something like that. Goes on easy, a little bit of a slick feel to it. Yeah. Bit of menthol hit when you breathe in, but not much. Nice cooling, feels very good on the face. Cooling lasts for a little bit, but not for too long. A very pleasant, but what I would definitely consider to be a non-traditional aftershave scent, but still really, really enjoying this. And I have to say, just in terms of the presentation, I really, really like these bottles. And in fact, I've held on to every one that I've had, and where necessary, I've decanted other aftershaves into these. I just really like this bottle design. It holds really easily. It's just kind of a cool, old school look. Quite nice. Whew. Well, man, that was another excellent shave. Even though that razor is kind of what I would consider to be, mid-tier or slightly below, I would certainly not, I don't think that I would recommend this to new wet shavers. There are just better options out there. But if you've just purchased this, don't feel bad. You're still going to get some very, very good shaves out of this. It's going to take a bit of practice, and you may find that the handle is just too thin, and that the knurling is just not enough. There are plenty of other options out there. You can, of course, use some replacement handles if you want to stick with the head. But if you've already purchased this, not to worry. You didn't make a terrible decision. You just have some other alternatives out there that, in fact, in the long run, may be a better choice. If you're going to stick with this, great. Make it work for you. All right, let's recap. Wholly Kaw, the Lav Sublime Concerto. Lavender, lime, cedar, musk, vetiver, tallow-based version of the soap. I've really enjoy using this soap. I love the scent. The scent is really good. The Pré de Provence is a very good scent as well. Like I said, a bit too perfumey. This is a very, very nice mix. Performance has been excellent. Really, really enjoyed this. And, it's kind of the danger of the sample that you have to make it last, at least in my case. Very, very nice soap. Highly recommended. If you haven't tried this yet and it's still available, go for it. Brush for today. There's still plenty of lather in there. This is the Big Shave 2014 limited edition brush. Wonderful brush. That soap sample was pressed into the Captain's Choice, the bowl, that E-Coloniale, that terracotta bowl. It's just sitting on the back of the shelf, lonely and weeping. Sorry, bro. It's just a better option. And to close it off, the wonderful Myrsol Formula C. I have a number of these sort of in the queue. A person has very kindly provided a number of samples of some of the other Myrsol aftershaves. as well as a Myrsol liquid shaving soap that will feature in a future video. So be on the lookout for those. That really covers it for today. Thank you again, as always, so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please leave it against the video. I try to get back to those as quickly as I can. And until next time, goodbye.